Hello everyone, and welcome to Back to Basics. Today we're going to be covering the substitution method and how to use the substitution method within our systems of equations. So what exactly is the substitution method? Well, the substitution method is the isolation of a variable in a system of equations using basic algebraic techniques, then substituting that isolated variable into another equation with the same missing variables. Now, a system equation is essentially just multiple equations with the same missing variables. And then I'll get to exact values a bit later on. Now, in this example over here, in equation 1, b is equal to 4 minus a. And equation number 2, 4 plus a is equal to 3b. Now, if we take a look at over here, we have two missing variables in equation 1, b and variable a. Now in equation number 2, we also have the same missing variables, variable a and variable b. Now we have to solve this systems of equation by isolating for one of our variables in either or equation. So as you can see, equation number 1, b is by itself on the left hand side of the equal sign. So then we can simply substitute that b into equation number 2. And this will look somewhat like this. On our left side, we'll have 4 plus a is equal to 3 in bracket 4 minus a. Now, as you can see, this is our new equation with only one missing variable, and that is a. So to be able to solve, we'll simply on the right hand side distribute the 3 into the 4 and the a, so it'll be 12 minus 3a. And then on the left hand side it's just 4 plus a. Now all you have to do is isolate for the variable a and then solve. So on our right hand side, I'll simply just plus 3a, and I'll do the exact same operation on the left hand side. Now we're left with 4 plus 4a on our left hand side is equal to 12. Now this becomes extremely easy. All we need to do is isolate for a at this point. I'll subtract 4 on the left hand side, which will get rid of the 4, and I'll have to do the same operation on the right hand side. So you'll be left with 4a is equal to 8. And all you need to do is divide by 4 on the left hand side and do the same operation on the right hand side, and that'll get rid of the 4. And then it will be a is equal to 2. So as you can see, our basic algebraic techniques were simply doing opposite operations, adding and subtracting terms, as well as distributing terms. So that's fairly easy. Now we have our answer, a is equal to 2. Let's put that back into either or of the equation. If you have time during your test or assessment, it's always nice to check that if your answer, and if you substitute that into your first equation and it gives you one answer, and then if you substitute into your second equation, it also gives you the same answer as your first equation, that means you have done your process correctly. So let's take a look at equation number 1. b is equal to 4 minus a, where a is equal to 2. So this would just simply be b is equal to 4 minus 2, and b is equal to 2. Now let's do that for our second equation. 4 plus a is equal to 3b. And then if we substitute a or 2 in for a, we'll have 4 plus 2 is equal to 3b. And our left hand side will simply be 6 is equal to 3b. And if you divide by 3 by both sides, then you will get b is equal to 2. As you can see, if we plugged in a is equal to 2 on our first equation, b is equal to 2. And if we plug in a is equal to 2 in our second equation, b is still equal to 2. Let's take a look at another set of equation. Actually, I want to keep these two. So we'll have 2x minus 3y is equal to 1 over 4. That's our first equation. And our second equation will be 4x minus 2y is equal to 1. Now, since both equations are fairly complex, it doesn't really matter which variable you want to isolate or which equation you want to start with. I'll start with this time equation number 2. 4x minus 2y is equal to 1. I will isolate for y, and you can also choose x. It doesn't really matter. And then I will substitute y into our first equation. So this will look like 1 minus 4x is equal to negative 2y. Now all I need to do is divide by negative 2, and we'll do the same for our right side. So now we'll be left with y is equal to 1 minus 4x, all of it divided by negative 2. Now let's simplify this fraction over here. This is essentially can be written as y is equal to 1 over negative 2 minus 4x over negative 2. As our denominator should be the same for both of the terms, we will simply get, obviously, a negative divided by negative will equal a positive, and then 4 divided by 2 will equal to 2x. So we'll be left with y is equal to negative 1 over 2 plus 2x. Now we can also rearrange this equation to look a lot nicer. We can set this as y is equal to 2x minus 1/2. Now we have our equation rearranged. We can just substitute y is equal to 2x minus 1/2 into our first equation. So I'll go ahead and do that. 2x minus 3y is equal to 1 over 4. And we have to substitute y is equal to 2x minus 1 over 2. Since y is in our second equation and y is also in our first equation, this will be 2x minus 3 in the brackets 2x minus 1/2 is equal to 1 over 4. Now we'll simply distribute the minus 3 into our terms 2x and minus 1 over 2, which will give us 2x minus 6x plus 3 over 2 is equal to 1 over 4. Now we can simply collect like terms, as we have 2x and minus 6x. That will simply give us minus 4x. And we can move the positive 3 over 2 or the plus 3 over 2 to our right hand side by subtracting our left hand side by negative 3 over 2. So these will simply subtract out, and we will have to do the same operation on our right hand side. So it will be negative 4x is equal to 1 over 4 minus 3 over 2. Now, as we have two fractions on our right hand side, and we can't simply just subtract them out, we have to find the common denominator. So as negative 3 over 2, or 3 over 2 has 2 as its denominator, and 1 over 4 has 4 as its denominator. A common denominator will simply just be 4. So we'll just multiply 3 over 2 by 2 over 2, which will get us 6 over 4. So our right hand side will be equal to negative 5 over 4 is equal to negative 4x. Great. Now we can simply solve for x by dividing negative 4, and we divide by negative 4. Now, the opposite operation of division is multiplication, so we can simply just multiply by the reciprocal of negative 4, which will give us negative 5 over 4 times negative 1 over 4. And when two negatives multiply with each other, we equal a positive. So this will give us x is equal to 5 over 16. Nice. So now we can take this x and substitute it back into equation 1 or equation number 2. I will do equation number 2 as there's not a fraction in that equation. X is equal to 5 over 16. And our second equation is 4x minus 2y is equal to 1. Now we'll just simply plug our 4 or our x into the 4x. So this will be 4 multiplied by 5 over 16 minus 2y is equal to 1. Now 4 times 5 is 20 over 16 minus 2y is equal to 1. Now you can simply simplify this fraction right now, or you can simplify it when you're at the very end of solving for your y value. I will simplify it right now, so this will get us 5 over 4. And this will be minus 2y is equal to 1. So now I would isolate for our minus 2y. There's a plethora of ways to do this. You can add 2y on our left hand side and then add 2y on our right hand side. So then these would simply cancel out. Now you're left with 5 over 4 is equal to 1 plus 2y. And then you would simply subtract 1 on our right hand side, and then 5 over 4 minus 1 on our left hand side, which will be equal to 2y. And now you are left with 5 over 4 minus 1. And then you would just find the common denominator, which this will be simply 4 over 4, which will leave us with 1 over 4 is equal to 2y. Now, dividing our 2 out on our right hand side, divide by 2. On our left hand side, we would also divide by 2, which would give us 1 over 8 is equal to y. Now we can also double check by placing x is equal to 5 over 16 in our first equation. So I'll go ahead and do that. 2x minus 3y is equal to 1 over 4, and x is equal to 5 over 16. Now, all we need to do is have 2 multiplied by 5 over 16 minus 3y is equal to 1 over 4. 2 times 5 is 10 over 16 minus 3y is equal to 1 over 4. Let's simplify our term or our fraction, 10 over 16, which will give us 5 over 8 minus 3y is equal to 1 over 4. Now we can simply add 3y on our left hand side to then move it to the right hand side. And then we'll be left with 5/8 is equal to 1/4 plus 3y. And then all you need to do is subtract 1/4 on our right hand side and do the same operation on our left hand side. And then we will get 5/8 minus 1/4 is equal to 3y. And we have to find the common denominator for our left hand side, so we'll just multiply our 1/4 by 2/2. And that will give us, for our denominator, 8, and our numerator, 2. So what's 5 minus 2? Well, that is 3 as our numerator, and our denominator stays the same as 8, is equal to 3y. Now, we just simply divide our right hand side by 3, and we do the same operation on our left hand side, which will give us 3/8 multiplied by 1/3 is equal to y. This will give us 3/24 is equal to y. So we would simply divide the numerator by 3 and then the denominator by 3, which will give us 1/8 is equal to y. So as you can see, we can write our therefore statement. Therefore, x is equal to 5/16 and y is equal to 1/8. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day.